Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kadash double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Now, I have mentioned this in 2 other videos, and this is the 3rd time I'm mentioning this article over here because all you should already know why this will happen in 2045. Most couples may have to use assisted reproduction by 2045. You should know what this means. How can they so accurately kind of predict it to a certain degree, and they already know? How they know? How they know what's in your womb? How they know? How they know you're gonna be fertile? You're gonna be infertile. How they know that? You should already know. But anyway, the professor of environmental medicine explains how chemicals in plastic are causing our fertility to decline and what we can do about it. And yes, the chemicals in the plastic, yes, they are actually doing that with the fertility and stuff. But they have something extra that they're adding onto it because they're gonna blame this. And if you want to check out the video on this, what it's doing, you should watch the video, this video, the disappearing male. Here. And you should watch this video. I'm going to put the link in the description box. The common chemicals that are making men infertile. The disappearing male science documentary. I'll put this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. But they have something else, because you got to understand the plastic has been around for a very long time. And it still didn't decline the fertility of people to the lowest degree that you actually need assistance by 2045. There's something else coming around the block. Shauna Swan is a professor of environmental medicine and public health at Mount Sinai School of Medicine and in New York City, studying fertility trends. In 2017, she documented how average sperm counts among Western men have more than halved in the past 40 years. And you can see that in this documentary also. All these things that you have as a child. You know, children put these things in their mouth and stuff like that. Everything here oozes off of you back into your system. And it doesn't get out anymore. You spend more than 20 years examining the effects of hormone disrupting chemicals on reproductive health. Are you now sounding the alarm? So for 20 years, you basically shut the hell up. That's basically what they're telling you right here. You only need to study this thing 1 year, and you already should know, like, yo, my man, this thing is dangerous, yeah? You know, you're running test after test after test. You should know. I'm going to just go and hit these subtitles. Female fertility declines rapidly after about 35. Isn't that why so many people are turning to IFE? And moreover, there's compelling evidence that the risk of miscarriage has been rising among women of all ages. So, if there's a lot of miscarriages going on, what's really going on? What's really going on? Which chemicals are the most worrying for reproductive health, and how do they work? This thing over here, used to make plastic soft and flexible, are of paramount concern. So the flexible plastic is what you really need to be watching out for. So it says here, those that can interfere or something like that, with or mimic the body's sex hormones, such as testosterone and estrogen, whatever, because these make reproduction possible. They can make the body think it has enough of a particle hormone and it doesn't need to make any more, so production goes down. So basically, these chemicals, this thing over here, it will trick your body into making less reproductive hormones. So less estrogen, less testosterone, which is going to cause you to actually be basically infertile because it thinks you have enough, but you don't have any. Right? So it says here, they are in every body, and we are probably primarily exposed through food, as we use soft plastic in food manufacture, processing, and packaging. They lower testosterone and so have the strongest influence on the male side because this thing is a synthetic estrogen. Right. So they explain it to you in this documentary also. Like I said, I'm going to put the link in the description box. For example, diminishing sperm count, though they are bad for women too, shown to decrease libido and increase of early puberty, increased risk, premature ovarian failure, miscarriage, and premature birth. So it messes with them on another level, but still it messes with them. Okay. And this also, BPA, used to harden plastic and found in cash register receipts, whatever, and the lining of some canned food containers is another. So that's why you should watch out with canned food, man. You shouldn't be eating that. You should be eating food that is in glass, you know. But this shows you that where we are the Israelites, man, because it shows you in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, that 28 verse 40, I think 45, 43. This is what would happen to the Israelites. That's why we know that Israeli to own businesses. That's why we know that these people are not the Israelites, man. These are all their brands. These are the things that they own. They own this. They own everything. They own everything. Reality behind Israel's barbaric attack on Gaza. Okay, cool. But then, here. Israel/Jewish company boycotting or ex-Muslim. All these things are actually owned by these Amalekites, man. Best companies to work for in Israel 2020. The computer business, everything, man. They own everything. Amazon, everything they own. The top 100, they own everything. So they can never be these people that deserve, that have been given the curses from Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. So it says here, the stranger that is within thee shall get up high above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness, and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. This is, until this day, we have to basically serve our enemies. We got to work for them. For what? For food, for drinks, for water, and for clothing, and for want of all things, housing, cars, anything you want. You want a computer to make these videos? Guess what? You gotta go to your enemies. You wanna make videos with the videotape and stuff like that? Guess what? Where you gotta go? You want internet? Guess where you gotta go? You gotta go to them. And they will then provide it for you. In want of all things, you shall go to your enemies. That shows you that these people that call themselves Israelis are not the Israelites. Because the real Israelites are struggling and they own nothing. They don't own shit, according to the scriptures itself. You know? This is what they own. We don't own jack, feces, nothing. And this is not even all. This is just a puny list of what they really actually own. A small list. Right? So, go back to this article. This thing will kill you. It destroys you. So it says here, it is estrogen mimicking, and so is a particularly bad actor on the female side, increasing risk of fertility challenges, but likewise it can affect men. Men occupationally exposed to BPA have shown decreased sperm quantity, reduced libido, and higher rates of erectile dysfunction. Other chemicals of concern include flame retardants and certain pesticides such as atrazine. So they're using these pesticides on the food that we eat. That's why we shall eat the dung. The children of Israel shall eat dung. Ezekiel chapter 4. Let me get that. Just shall the children of Israel eat their bread, their defiled bread among the heathen. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. It says, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. We're going to basically eat shit, man. Worse than shit. Believe it or not, this thing is worse than shit. It might not smell as bad, but this will destroy you. You see, shit is fucked up. But this thing will destroy your DNA, man. That's why in certain places, all of a sudden now, this is so-called banned. That's why you shouldn't be drinking out of plastic bottles, but it's everywhere. Let me see. Well, they explain everything to you and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go into it too much, but let's hear. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna put this link in the description box, and they have a other plan also. That's why I'm telling you, urging you to remember the Tuskegee syphilis experiments, where they came to so-called, how you call it? Why use that right here? Help our people by doing what? Injecting this thing in you. And what did they do? Tuskegee syphilis study. The Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Israelite man, informally referred to as the Tuskegee experiment or Tuskegee syphilis study, was an ethical, abusive study. Like they give a shit. Like they care. They put the word abusive there, but it has no power toward it. It has no compassion with it. They just put it there just to make it seem as if they give a shit. Conducted between 1932 and 1972. So they was checking it out for 40 years. 40 years they were studying it, the untreated syphilis. They were studying it, right? By whom? By the United States Public Health Service, PHS, and Centers of Disease Control and Prevention. Why not Center of Disease Control and Cure? There is no money in cure. And it says here that making $1,000 here. Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna making $1,000 profits every what? Every what? Let's click on it. Every what? Every day, every what? Check this out. Based on company financial statements, their own statements, the alliance estimates that Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna will make pre-tax profits of 34 billion this year between them, which works out to as over $1,000 a second, $65,000 a minute, or 93.5 million a day. That's what they make in a second. People are vaccine science. Okay, cool. Okay. This is what they make in every second, basically. $1,000 a second. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a minute. So that's what they're doing. And they published this. They published it themselves. Let me see if I can find another. All these articles are talking about it. Right. Let me just check this out. Where is it? And also remember the smallpox that they gave with love to the Native Americans. It was all about help and making sure that they're warm at night when they slept in the cold. But before that, they was doing just fine. And after these Edomites came, then they got a brand new skin complexion. Thank you, John Smith. Full of death, and a lot of them died. Hundreds of thousands of them died. Right? And this is fact. This is history. This is reality. It's not a joke. It's not a game. This is a cartoon, yeah. A drawing, but it wasn't a cartoon. But they did that. And if you think that these Edomites are going to change their ways after, a few hundred years, then you can go get their help. Go get it. Since when does an Edomite care about your health or care about you? Because they're talking about, it says here that, where is it? It says here, live, South Africa in fourth wave with Omicron. So-called black and South Asian people in UK at risk without jabs. As if they care. Really they care? Anyway, there's a program being set up to where by the time of 2045 people are gonna have to have assisted reproduction, meaning they're gonna have to help you to get children. They're gonna have to take it out your body and put it in a tube. For example, something like this, man. This is how they clone animals. They put it in an artificial womb, water in it and stuff like that. And then it basically grows from a fetus into a actual animal, or could be a person. If you could do this with animals, then you can do that with a human cell too. Make a baby like that. Just growing in the womb, got the water in there, compressed, pressurized, whatever they do, man. They can imitate the womb. They can probably put this in a man too. But It needs to probably be connected to some kind of machine, and that's why they're not doing it. If they could, they would, because a lot of men up on the planet Earth, especially now, with them bogus ass people that's going around about upon the planet Earth, Isaiah chapter 3 and 9, they would actually be jumping at the idea to do it. Isaiah 3 and 9. The show of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. They're bold. Excuse me. They're hella bold nowadays. They don't hide their sodomy. They openly show it in your face. And if you got a problem, they want to fight you. The Heavenly Father said, woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. And I'm going to tell you right now, before I shut this video up, let me see. Y'all need to get off of, Y'all need to get off of YouTube, man. With videos like, if you want to watch videos, if you want to watch real videos, right, real information, go to BitChute and type in this word. Type this word in. I can't even click it because it's going to show all these articles. And then they're going to be like, medical misinformation, because they know what's going down. All these companies are being paid for, bought and paid for, actually. The people that be working and flagging the videos, they're paid for it, and some of them are just lackeys. They just want to please their master, or they just hate us, because you got those too. But it doesn't matter, because eventually everything will, there's a payback for everything, every deed upon this planet Earth. There's a payback for it. So with that, I'm gonna shut it. I'm gonna round it off, and just remind you of the friendliness of these devils. Remind you of it. Because, let me finish reading this. Now it says here, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, on a group of nearly 400 Israelite men, and it was more than 400, with syphilis. They injected them with it. The purpose of the study was to observe the effects of the disease when untreated, though by the end of the study it was entirely treatable. The men were not informed of the just let me read that part again. The men were not informed of the nature of the experiment, and more than 100 died as a result. So they did the same thing in Guatemala, right? I'm gonna leave this link in the description box so you could check this one out also for yourself if you're even interested. Just to see, this should show you what these people have been doing to our people for centuries, for decades. Going back to before the Native Americans even. Read the book of Obadiah chapter 1. You're going to see what I'm talking about when I say before they went to America, which is centuries ago. What they did to the Native Americans. They came in the name of peace and safety. You know what I'm saying? And you be trusting them in peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come upon you. Just like how sudden destruction will come upon them for all the wickedness that they have been doing and still are doing upon the planet Earth. Right? So with that, I'm going to say shalom and check out the links in the description box. Shalom.